Hi guys! Now we are moving to our science portion for today. And today we are going to build egg protectors. We're going to see if we can find out what it takes to engineer a design that will outlast an egg drop. And you guys can test these at home this week. And I don't know how we're going to do this next week, but next week we're supposed to have a contest to see whose egg protection gear works the best. And we were also supposed to test all our bridges and all of our airplanes. So I'm not sure how that will work. But today we're doing egg protectors. Now, what are our materials for this project? Well, last week Mrs. Green sent out bags for our science materials, and in your bag were popsicle sticks. So we're going to use popsicle sticks, and we have, napkins in our bags, and we have plastic eggs for testing, and we have rubber bands, and yeah, that was it. Then we have the rubber bands, the plastic stick, the craft sticks, and the eggs and the napkins. So that's what you're going to use this week to make your egg protector. If you want to be creative and use other materials, I went to the dollar store today, probably violating our stay-at-home orders, but at the dollar store I was able to find also these nice big bags of straws. So we'll talk about why we might use straws, and either mix them with the popsicle sticks or use them instead of the popsicle sticks. We'll talk about that in a second. But you can get those at the dollar store if you want to get creative over the week and see how many different ways you can do it. On CC Connected, the user who does really nice science project printouts for us, her name is Nicoleum. That's the username that she has. She has printed out different ideas of ways that you can make your egg protector. And so we're going to do things that look kind of like this today and like this, but she's used, looks like some coffee filters here, and this looks like a little planter that you would use for seedlings in the garden, and they've constructed a really elaborate parachute here, but this is a parachute. We've used grocery sacks in the past for parachutes and things. So let's talk about the different materials and why we might choose some of the different materials that we would have. When we are making our egg protectors, we need to keep several things in mind and remember some of the things that we've learned this year that will go into engineering the egg protector. What are some factors that we would consider when engineering this? We have learned about gravity all year long. We've talked about the way that the force equals mass times acceleration. One question that we could ask is, do heavier things fall faster? And we experimented with this a little bit a few weeks ago when we had the paper discs that we cut out, and one we left flat and the other one we cut a slit in it and we made it into a cone. They were the same size piece of paper and they were the same weight, but the one that was the cone fell fastest because it was more aerodynamic. It was able to push through the air molecules to get down to the ground more quickly. And the one that was flat got stuck because the air molecules wanted to push back up on it. So the thing that affects a object falling, the rate at which it falls, is not its weight. The thing that affects the rate at which it falls is the aerodynamics that are involved, the surface area that it has. So that's the air resistance and the amount of atmosphere that's around it. So when you're making your egg protector, you need to think about those things. Do I want to have my egg fall down through the air as fast as it can, or would I like to try to make it go a little bit slower? What can I do? Can I keep my egg protector as light as possible? And that's one reason why we might think about using straws, because the straw is a hollow and it is a lighter material, and it might be able to help protect the egg a little bit more efficiently. Some other things that we are going to consider is Newton's second law of motion, which I just briefly mentioned, which is force equals mass times acceleration. It shows us that if we lower the acceleration, which is what we just talked about, making it where it falls more slowly, then that's going to also bring down the force at which it falls to the ground. Another factor is we can also lower the, I'm trying to think. Never mind. I'm trying to think of it off the top of my head, but it's not coming to me. But we can think about the different laws of motion and what they do. We know that an object in motion will tend to stay in motion, and so we want to stop that motion as much as we can. We also want to be able to absorb the force. That was what I was looking for. We want to be able to absorb the force, and so one thing that we can use are rubber bands. This is the design that I've kind of created here. I have my egg in here, and then I have these two frames that go around it, and they're designed this way. They're not triangles. I was wanting to make a triangle, but I couldn't figure out how to get them to work as a triangle. But I did this because I was hoping that maybe it would slow down the fall, and then if it does fall, then it has different small areas to fall on, and then hopefully it will kind of either give it a little bounce, and the rubber bands will absorb the shock, and then it will kind of tumble rather than splat. So this is the design that I kind of came up with. Tomorrow, my kids and I are gonna work together, and we're gonna come up with some other ones and see which ones work the best. So this is about our egg protectors, and looking at how we can convert our potential energy into the smallest amount of kinetic energy as possible, so that we will not splat our egg when it hits the pavement. I hope you guys have fun with this, and we will look forward to seeing what you have accomplished. Have a good week. Bye.